Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. So today we're going to do Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 9. I have a few things to share today though, so if you want to go straight to the verse, you can as usual forward to the place where the screen begins. Until then I will have some shares. So, what I wanted to talk to you about today is might be a little bit triggering to some people, but I want to bring I have zero intention for any disrespect anywhere. I just want to bring a perspective of something that I learned. So I try to walk about 9 miles once a week, at least once a week, if not more. And I do that. When I do that, I listen to a lot of personal growth stuff that I've been just very deeply involved with. And I was listening to stuff today, and it triggered my thinking and it triggered my contemplation. And so I like to pause and think and then listen. So it made me realize today. So I have had I do not I've had a little bit of a resistance to containerizations, what I call containerizations. For example, when people talk about like what sun sign are you? So then people are boxed in. You have this personality, or you have this personality. Or the Myers-Briggs. So I do ask people what the Myers-Briggs is because I found it to be useful, but then on some level I've resisted it as well, and then on some level I've been drawn towards it. And then lately, the thing that's taking up the internet by storm is human design. So I've been exposed to that, and everybody's talking about human design. And I'm like, I don't even know what my human design is because there are three different charts that come out from three different websites. And I'm like, I don't know which one mine is. But one of them did resonate. And so there was something that somebody said yesterday which kind of resonated so well. And she said that human design has helped her not judge people and not box in people, like in a way, because you can be whoever you want to be, but this is just your natural self, and you have to work at changing that. So what she said is that she is a manifesting generator, which means she has a lot of energy, and her roommate is a projector, which means she like does, and then she needs a lot of rest, and then she does, and then she needs a lot of rest, and things like that. So she found herself able to understand, to give a vocabulary to the personality types, so that she was able to not judge herself anymore, because she was, for example, a hermit. So she did not want to be around people, and all her life she had had this messaging: you should be an extrovert, you should be with people. And this gave her permission to be a hermit. This gave her permission to be in her room more often, because she realized that's her natural state of being, and somebody else's is not that. I'm an extrovert, so I really get energy from people when I'm around people. So it's just, and so she was able to then understand her roommate better, and they're now able to have a better relationship, because they understand, they have the vocabulary and the understanding of different personality types because of this. So it just completely transformed the way I look at these containerizations, what I call containerizations. Even Myers-Briggs, it just gives a vocabulary that these are specific traits that you can look out for, and it's different people have different traits, and it's okay. So it just reduces the judgment from that, and it brings in more acceptance, which is beautiful, right? This is just so beautiful. So here is where the triggering part is. So what I have found in some places, now I want to start off by saying that I love my Shastras, and the reason I'm doing this Gita studies is because I love my Shastras a lot, and I love the teachings that they have, and I believe that they go to a lot of depth. So personal growth is something that helps you become a better human being, and it helps you uncover the fear inside. It helps you go inside, it helps you dig inside your heart, and remove things from your heart that are fear based, and exposes the love inside. And then where to go from there, once you have that, I think I've mentioned it in one of the videos before, where to go from there, that's where the Gita gives you advice on that, like how to go from there, so or in the ISKCON world, all the chanting and all of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings teach you that by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you get to go to Golok, which is the highest place, which, I mean, not everybody might agree with, but like there are different the Shastras give us different paths. The Gita, some people will say Bhakti is the best path, some people will say Gyan is the best path. From the same Gita, different people will have different interpretations of that. But it provides a path, and people can pick the path that resonates with them. So that is wonderful. And I've also found that in many places there is a lot of judgment. For example, just this Arjun thing, which I've mentioned a few times before, so I don't want to keep harping on that. But a lot of people love to bash Arjun and say he's a Kshatriya, he should have already known this, and he shouldn't have been asking Krishna these questions. So that there is a lot of judgment for people who are not perfect, So in the in the lectures that I've heard, there are people. For example, one person actually said that you're supposed to, in this thing, you're supposed to wear tulsi beads. And one person was giving a lecture, and he gave the reference of some guru who has now passed away, like hundreds of years ago, who said that a person who doesn't wear the tulsi beads is lower and lower than scum, or something like that. Like really low. In really low individual. And I was like, that's just so much judgment. It's so much judgment. I don't wear tulsi beads, and am I a really lowly person? Because there's just a lot of things like that I hear, which in the personal growth world, that is not there. The main thing in the personal growth world is to love everyone for who they are, wherever they are. And so there's no question of judgment in the personal growth, which is beautiful. And in the spiritual world, what I realized also from this is the nuance, basically, that the containerizations can be good or bad, because I have seen many places in the spiritual world where they are containerizing people. They're saying these are the four different I don't remember right now, but let's say there are four different categories of where people are, and but it's a subtle difference, right? It's not saying that this category is where we are going to, and we should follow this path to get to this category. They're not saying that. They're saying this category is bad and this category is good, like something like that. So if we're not perfect, if we're getting angry, then that's bad, and if we're not getting angry, that's good. So there's a subtle way of saying it, right? Like it's like the personal growth world will say, yes, everybody is good, and we're all on a journey. We're all on a path to get to a place where we can become better and better and better. So it's not like that you're bad and now you have to work towards being good. It's just that we're on a path. We're on a journey. So yeah, so these nuances. Anyways, I have and I learned a lot of other things as well. I just today I wrote like 5 different things which I felt were huge. For example, why people fall in love so quickly when they meet somebody new, and how to fall in love in a more healthy way that's more sustainable, and why it happens. So all of the, like, there's just so much learning. I sometimes pinch myself, like, how is my life this good, and how do I have such incredible mentors that I'm able to learn so much so fast. Anyways, okay, so that's one thing. And the second thing that I wanted to share is kind of very cheesy. So I'm warning you, it's very cheesy. So a friend of mine was getting married, and her fiance gave her a ring, as you usually do, and this was a few months ago, and that had given me this idea that I want a ring too, but I'm not getting married. Like, I don't, there's nobody in my life right now, but I wanted to get married to Radha and Krishna. So I bought myself a ring, and this is the ring. It's a very simple thing. I don't know if you can even see it. It's a simple band. It's very subtle. It doesn't stick out too much. It's rose gold. Not real gold, but yeah, it's beautiful. It fits beautiful. I love it, and I'm very excited. So, and I'm not marrying Krishna only. I'm marrying Radha and Krishna because I feel my instinct right now is that Radha and Krishna are the masculine and feminine part of God. So complete God is defined by the combination of Radha and Krishna. So I'm like, so anybody who marries me would have to accept that he's going to be the second husband of mine, because my first is Radha and Krishna. Okay, so let's go to the verse 2.9. It's gone back to the old tune again. Oh, I was gonna. Okay, let me just play here. Sanjaya Uvacha एवमुक्त्वा हृषीकेशं गुडाकेशः परं तपः न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः. Okay. So, evamuktva hrishikesham. So Sanjay is speaking. Evam das Uttva speaking Hrishikesham unto Krishna, the master of the senses. So there is a little bit of a thing here. So he's saying Hrishikesham to Hrishikesh. Sanjay is saying that Arjun is now speaking to Hrishikesh, the master of the senses. Gudakesha. Now who is speaking? Arjun Gudakesha, who's the master of curbing ignorance. And in Swami Mukundanand's website, it says Gurukesha is translated as the conqueror, Arjun, the conqueror of sleep. So I'm not sure which is which. Parantapaha, the chastiser of enemies. Arjun had called Krishna that in one of the previous verses, chastiser of the enemies. Nayotsya iti govindam, I shall not fight thus. Govind, this is where it's to Krishna, giver of pleasure of this to the senses. So there is master of the senses, Rishikesham, and here is giver of pleasure to the senses. And saying this, Uktava, saying this, Tushnyam, he became silent. Babhuva, he became silent. So Sanjay said, having spoken thus, Arjun, the chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and he became silent. Here the translation is, Sanjay said, having thus spoken, Gudakesh, that chastiser of enemies, addressed Rishikesh, Govind, I shall not fight, and became silent. This is a little more tightly spoken about. Okay, so that was verse 9. We will do chapter 2, verse 10 tomorrow. Wish you a very, very beautiful day. Radhe Radhe.